Welcome back, everyone. In this module, I'm going to introduce you to one of my favorite practices in information organization. Information organization is any way in which you take a method or a specific way of organizing information. And in this description, I'm going to use a methodology called LATCH. LATCH is one model for organizing information developed by Richard Saul Wurman. It contains only 5 ways of grouping content. And the reason why limiting ways of grouping content is something that you should be considering is that by limiting the ways of grouping content, we restrict the ways in which you can control that content. And we restrict the ways in which a user will have to interpret that content. The 5 ways in which Richard Saul Wurman discusses content are grouping them by location, alphabet, time, category, and hierarchy, which leads us to the acronym of LATCH. L represents location. Information is structured using something like geography. Location becomes important in travel guides, transportation routes, or maps. And this method of organization should be used when physical connections are important to users' comprehension. A key example of this in the digital space would be when a user encounters the ability to find locations near them. Typically done by radiating out from the user's geolocation point. And the order of information is displayed in distance from that origin point. The second element of LATCH is alphabet. And in this case, information is structured using letter sequence, which is immediately comprehensible to most audiences. We see real-world examples of alphabetical organization in telephone books, dictionaries, or encyclopedias. This alphabet method of organization should be used when positioning specific content in large sets of information. For directories and listings on a website that have hundreds of potential results, an alphabetical sorting function becomes imperative. The T in LATCH stands for time. This organizational principle allows us to structure information and illustrate it in a sequence. And this sequential element becomes tied to time or timeline. We see time illustrated in calendars, airport arrival departure timelines, or in the case of online courses, an order of the next course and the structure of the modules and weeks of the course itself. This type of organizational principle is important and helpful when chains of events, i.e. a sequential set of events, A then followed by B or C, are important for comprehension. Hence the sequential movement of module to module, week to week in an online course. The C in LATCH stands for category. This one we've talked about previously. And in this information organization, we organize according to common traits or attributes. The more common ones that we see are product categories, taxonomic classifications, where we look at facets and fill in the blanks with our attributes. Controlled vocabulary becomes part of our categorization. This is probably the most common way that you'll be organizing products or services, and it's recommended when connections between information sets are important. And the final letter as part of our LATCH acronym is hierarchy. Hierarchy has been a topic for us for the last few weeks. Hierarchy in this case is when information is organized to suggest importance. The more prominent a piece of information is, the more hierarchy it will have, the more priority it will have. Road signs and emergency instructions are good examples of hierarchy. Hierarchy is very helpful when illustrating priority or value to items in a set of information. And that rounds out our 5 organizing principles in the Latch method. And that's a quick summary of one of my favorite organization principles, the Latch method. I encourage you to read further, and we'll see you in the next module.